evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show, Now That's Comedy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our show, Now That's Comedy.
I just said that.
I know, but it kind of had a nice ring to it.
Pretty sorry about tonight's show, huh?
I guess anytime I share a stage with Governor Walker, I'm excited.
He's not here.
Late again.
He's not late either.
You mean we're early?
Would you like to know who is here tonight?
Donald Trump?
Why would you say Donald Trump's here?
Everybody's got to be someplace.
Well, Donald Trump is someplace.
That's what I just said.
Someplace else.
Late again, huh?
We never asked.
If you don't ask him, then how's he gonna know where to come?
Do you see what I could deal with?
Good night, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the show. Buckle your seatbelts. Save the children.
Zach, we're just starting the show. Why would you be saying goodbye?
I just remembered, I'm a little bit dyslexic.
Don't you mean dyslexic?
See what I'm talking about?
Remember, folks, we'll be on stage for about an hour, so phone in your pledges and contributions.
What's that all about?
If we can pick up a few extra bucks, why not?
We'd like to start off the show with Smash's Comedy, Monty Python.
Guys. Okay, make sure the audience doesn't leave this room until I come and get them.
Not to leave the room, even if you come and get them.
No, until I come and get them.
Until you come and get them, we are not to enter the room.
No, let me make this clear. You stay in the room and make sure they don't leave.
And you will come and get them.
Right.
Okay, fine. We'll remain here until you come and get them. If we,
Yes?
if we,
Look, it's simple. Just stay here and make sure they don't leave. Right?
Oh, I remember. Can it leave the room with us?
No, keep them in here.
Oh, yes, we'll keep them here, obviously. Well, if they had to leave and we were with them.
No, just keep them in here.
Until you or anyone else.
No, not anyone else, just me.
Just you. Get back.
Right.
Okay, fine. We'll remain here until you get back.
Oh, and make sure they don't leave.
What?
Make sure they don't leave.
The audience?
Yes, make sure.
Oh! I thought you meant him! You know, it seemed a bit silly of me having to guard him when he was a guard.
Is that clear?
Oh, yes, quite clear.
Where are you going?
We're coming with you.
No, I want you to stay here and make sure they don't leave.
Oh, I see. Right.
Go and have a drink.
Hey, Chloe, what's purple and hums?
I don't know.
An electric grape. Cameron! Hey, Cameron. Why can't the T-Rex clap? Because it's extinct. They don't play football around here. Football's stupid. Baseball's way better. We will tell you why. Baseball is different from any other sport in a lot of ways. For instance, in most sports, you score points. In baseball, you score runs.
In most sports, the ball or the object is put into play by the offensive team. In baseball, the ball is put into play by the defense, and only the defense is allowed to touch the ball. In fact, if any of the offensive players touches the ball intentionally, he is out.
Also, in most sports, the team is run by a coach. But in baseball, the team is run by a manager.
And only in baseball does the manager have to wear the same uniforms that the players do.
Can you imagine Coach Rose in his Warriors football uniform?
Now, baseball and football are different from one another in a lot of interesting ways, I think. First of all, baseball is a 19th century pastoral game. Football is a 20th century technological struggle.
Baseball is played in a diamond in the park, the baseball park. Football is played in a stadium, sometimes called Soldier Field or War Memorial Stadium.
Baseball begins in the spring, the season of new life. Football begins in the fall, when everything is dying. In football, you have to wear a helmet. In baseball, you get to wear a cap.
Football's concerned with downs. What down is it? Baseball's concerned with ups. Who's up? Are you up? I'm not up. He's up.
In football, the specialist comes in to kick. In baseball, the specialist comes in to relieve someone. In football, you receive a penalty. In baseball, you make an error. Oops.
Football is hitting, clipping, spearing, blocking, piling on, late hitting, unnecessary roughness, and personal fouls. In baseball, that's a sacrifice.
Football is played in any kind of weather. Rain, sleet, snow, hail, mud. I mean, you can't read the numbers on the field. You can't read the yard markers. You can't read the players' numbers. The struggle will continue. In baseball, if it rains, we don't play. I can't come out today, it's raining.
Baseball has a 7th inning stretch. Football has a 2-minute warning. In baseball, we don't know when the game is going to end. We might even have extra innings. In football, the game is rigidly timed and will end even have to go to sudden death.
In baseball, in the stands, there's kind of a picnic feeling. You know, emotions may run high or low, but there's really not that much unpleasantness. But in football, you can be sure at least 27 times you are perfectly capable of taking the life of a fellow human being. Preferably a stranger.
And finally, the objectives of the two games are totally different.
In football, the object is for the quarterback,
Also known as the field general,
to be on target with his aerial assault, riddling the defense by hitting his receivers with deadly accuracy, in spite of the blitz.
even if he has to use his shotgun.
With short pull passes and long bombs, he marches his troops into enemy territory.
Using his aerial assault with his sustained ground attack.
Which punches holes in the forward wall of the enemy's defense line.
In baseball, the object is to go home and be safe.
I hope I'll be safe at home.
Safe at home. Get out of here.
I love baseball.
Well, you know, baseball has its flaws too. Take their names, for example. They got very interesting names.
Funny names?
Oh, yeah, you know, nicknames, pet names. Take the St. Louis team, for example. We got who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Okay, that's what I want to find out. I want you to tell me the names of the fellows on the St. Louis team.
Well, I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know who's on third.
Well, do you know the fellows' names?
Yes,
Then who's on first?
yes.
I mean the man's name playing first base.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first for St. Louis.
Who is on first?
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
It's on first. I'm asking you. Is that the man's name?
Yes, it's the man's name.
Well then, who is playing first?
Who? Yes, who is playing first?
Go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The man's name on first base.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who is on first?
Have you got a first baseman on first?
Oh, absolutely.
When you pay off the first baseman each month, who gets the money?
Well, every dollar of it. But why not? The man's entitled to it.
Who is?
Yes.
So who gets it?
Well, yeah, why not? Even, well, you know, sometimes his wife comes out and collects it.
Who's wife?
Well, yeah, after all, a man earns it.
Who does?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the man's name on first base.
Okay, now listen, who's on second?
We're not asking you what's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know. That's what we're trying to find out.
Alright, now listen. Don't change the players around.
I'm not changing anybody.
All right. Don't get excited.
What's the guy's name on first base?
What's the guy's name on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
He's on third base. We're not talking about him. You mentioned his name.
If I mentioned the third baseman's name, who did I say is playing third?
Oh no, who's playing first?
Stay off of first, will ya?
Please.
What is the fellow's name on third base?
What is the fellow's name on second base?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who is on first?
I don't know.
He's on third base.
Okay, have you got an outfield?
Oh, yeah.
St. Louis has got a good outfield.
Oh, yeah.
The left fielder's name.
Why?
I don't know, I just thought I'd ask you.
Well, I just thought I'd tell you.
Tell me, who's playing left field?
No, who's playing first?
Stay out of the infield.
Don't mention any names out there.
I want to know, what's the left fielder's name?
What's on second?
I don't know.
In third base.
All right, have you got a pitcher?
Oh, it wouldn't be a flying team without a pitcher.
I don't know, tell me the pitcher's name.
Tomorrow.
You don't want to tell me the name?
Well, I'm telling you.
Then go ahead.
Tomorrow.
What time?
What time what?
What time tomorrow are you going to tell us who's pitching?
Now listen. Who's not pitching? Who is on?
I'll break your arm if you say who's on first.
Right, now. Don't get excited. Take it easy.
The left fielder's name?
Why?
Because!
He's on center field.
St. Louis has got a couple of days on their team, that's all.
Well, there's nothing I can do about that. Now, what does he want to know?
What is the third baseman? What's the pitcher's name?
What's on second?
I'm not asking you who's on second.
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
You got a catcher?
Yes.
The catcher's name?
Today.
Today, tomorrow's pitching.
Yeah.
Couple of days. See?
I'm a good catcher. Now, I'd like to catch. Tomorrow's pitching on the team and I'm catching.
Okay, yeah.
So, when tomorrow throws the ball, the guy bunts it.
Okay.
Me, being a good catcher, want to pick up the ball and throw the guy out at first base. So when I do get the ball, I throw it to who?
Now, that's the first thing you said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's all you have to do.
So throw it to first base?
Yes.
Then who gets it?
Yeah, naturally.
Who has it?
Naturally.
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 Okay.
All right.
So I pick up the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, you don't. You throw it to first base.
Then who gets it?
Naturally.
Okay.
All right, now you've got it.
So I pick up the ball and I throw it to naturally.
No, you throw it to who?
Naturally.
Naturally. Now say it that way.
That's what I'm saying!
I know, don't get excited. Don't get excited.
Said I throw the ball to naturally.
You did not say that. Throw it to who?
Naturally.
Naturally.
That's what I said.
No, you did not.
I said I'd pick up the ball and I'd throw it to naturally.
No, you pick up the ball and you throw it to who?
Okay, well, I pick up the ball and I throw it to first base. Whoever it is drops the ball and the guy runs to second. Who picks up the ball and throws it to what? What throws it to? I don't know, throws it back to tomorrow. A triple play.
Oh, it could be.
Another guy gets up and it's a long fly ball because. Why? I don't know. He's on third and we don't care.
What was that?
We don't care.
He's our shortstop.
That was, of course, Who Was On First by the hilarious duo Abbott and Costello. And before that, Evan, why are you pulling the string?
Have you ever tried pushing one?
called the never-ending gossip cycle.
Oh my gosh, did you see what Missy is wearing today?
Yes. Did she get dressed in the dark or what? I swear, it looks like your 4-year-old sister let her clothes to wear. Talk about tight and short. Not to mention completely mismatched. Hello? Pink and orange do not go together. Not on any planet.
I know, sometimes she seems like she totally is from another planet. Like seriously, what was she thinking? I know this sounds mean, but I really don't want to be seen with her today.
Me either. It'll be so embarrassing.
She's always doing stuff like this to embarrass us. Like how sometimes she talks really loud at lunch, and how sometimes she forgets to stop chewing before she talks. Remember that time she spit chewed up cracker all over Greg, the hottest guy in class? Then she pointed at me like I was the one who did it.
Oh, and how by the time she tripped going down the steps and took me down with her, she made me ram into the teacher and I got in trouble, like it was my fault. I'm friends with a total klutz.
Oh my gosh, I know. I love her and all, but what are we going to do with her?
I'm almost done with putting up with her. She's just so embarrassing. Besides, let's get real. We're way too good for her anyway. Hey, Missy. I love your outfit today. Where'd you get it?
Oh, this? I just threw something together. Totally last minute. I was kind of worried about it. Thought maybe it cost or something. But now that I know you like it, I feel so much better.
Well, it's really cute. Don't tell Lauren I told you this, but she told me she hates it. She was going on and on about it this morning, just to show that girl doesn't have an ounce of taste, does she?
She told you that? Weird. She told me she loved what I had on the first hour. She even asked me where I bought it so she could get something like it.
Well, that's just what she told me. Would I ever lie to you? You're like my best friend.
Yeah, I know you wouldn't like me. I just can't believe Lauren. She's so two-faced sometimes.
Oh my gosh, yes. Did you see her hair today? It's like she totally forgot to brush it or something. You don't think she's trying to wear dreads or something hideous like that, do you?
Gosh, I hope not. You know you can't even wash your hair. Gross.
Ew, I definitely do not want to be friends with someone who doesn't even bathe.
For real. People might think we're like that too.
Maybe we should cut her out of the circle.
Guess it wouldn't be much of a loss. Who needs friends like that? Talking about you behind your back? Now I don't even think she likes me.
She doesn't. She was going on and on about it this morning, how much she hates you.
Are you kidding me? Well, she just lost me as a friend. What did you say to her?
I told her that you were a great friend and I would never want to lose you. I also told her that you don't embarrass me. You're just unique, and she should realize that.
Thanks, Michaela. At least I know I can trust you. It means a lot to me that I know I can always count on you.
You know, I'm always here for you, girl.
Hey Missy, want to do something this weekend? Could you go to the movies or something? We haven't done anything in like 2 weeks. I miss hanging out with you. We always have so much fun together.
You sure I don't embarrass you too bad to be seen out in public with me?
What are you talking about? You don't embarrass me at all. You're my best friend. If anything, we embarrass the people around us with how crazy we act.
Well, Michaela told me that I embarrass you and that you don't want to be my friend anymore.
What? I never said that. Missy, we've been friends for as long as I can remember. Do you really think I'd say that? She's making it up. She's always been jealous of how close we are. She's trying to break up our friendship. That is so low of her, making stuff up like that. You're my best friend. You're BFFL.
Well, I don't know who to believe. You both are, you were my best friends.
She just likes the drama. She talks about everyone behind her back.
Well, she did say something about you.
Really? She said something about me? What'd she say?
She said your hair looked like a nest of mice and taking residence there. And you didn't take to a brush from a pencil. Or something like that.
Really? Miss Frisball had the nerve to talk about my hair? That is so like her. See, that proves I'm telling you the truth. She's a total backstabber.
So you didn't say any of that stuff? You didn't talk about my clothes at all? Or how I embarrassed you?
Not like that. I said that you're so unique. You're like from another planet. You know, mixing pink and orange and stuff like that. But that's what's cool about you, Missy. You dress the way you want, and then everyone wants to dress like you.
Really? You think so? I have had several people ask me about it today.
That's because it's so amazing, just like you.
Well, I'm glad I talked to you. My stomach has been in knots ever since Michaela talked to me. I couldn't believe you said that I embarrassed you. It was so hurtful.
Come on, you know I'd never say that.
Well, I guess I believe you. But why would Michaela say that kind of stuff?
I don't know, but I'm sick of her drama. She always gets us to fight.
I know. We never wanted to be her friend.
Maybe we just shouldn't hang out with her anymore. What a drama queen. I heard she started fights at her old school all the time. I bet that's why her parents sold their house and moved to another school district.
I thought they would because they got divorced.
Probably a cover-up. Who knows with Michaela? You just can't trust her.
Apparently not. I know I can't now. Things were better without her. In this case, 3 is definitely a crowd.
We don't need a friend like that. Constantly causing trouble. She's so fake, isn't she?
I'm sorry, Lauren. I should have never believed Michaela.
Don't worry about it. I know how convincing she can be. It's over now, and we are done with her. Hey, Missy, did you ever talk to Lauren?
Yeah, I did.
Well, what did you say to her?
You lied to me, Michaela.
What? I lied? What on earth are you talking about?
Lauren never said those things. She told me the truth about everything. How is you who's saying all those mean things?
Why would I make that up? I'm telling you the truth about what's happening behind your back, and now I'm the bad guy? This is ridiculous. I should know better than to tell you the truth. Lauren has suckered you into thinking she's been your friend for all these years. I should have known you wouldn't see her for who she really is. I thought you'd trust your actual friend, me.
Michaela, you aren't my real friend. Why would you try to make me and Lauren not close anymore? You know we've been friends for as long as we can remember.
Only because you've never had someone like me who would tell you the truth about what your friend is really saying about you.
Drop the act. I know you're lying. I'm sick of your drama. Why are you always doing this?
I never do anything. I just get caught in the middle of you two and all your drama.
Lauren and I never have drama unless you're involved. We never gossip about each other.
Oh, really? Does Lauren know that you're talking about her hair? Does she? Bet she'd like to know that little tidbit of information. Maybe I should give her the 411 on that.
You were the one talking about her hair.
You were too. You said she probably wasn't bathing and that you didn't want to be seen with her.
Only because you said she was growing dreads.
Sounds like you're just as two-faced as she is.
Me? What about you? You talked to Lauren about me, and you went to me to talk about Lauren.
Oh, and you two didn't talk about me? That's funny, because a real friend of mine heard you guys saying that I moved because of the trouble that I caused. You know it was because my parents divorced. How could you guys be so mean?
I'm sorry, Michaela. I should have listened to Lauren. I know why you moved. You're right. She is a troublemaker. I should have never stayed friends with her this long.
You're my best friend, Missy. I mean it.
We are best friends. Real best friends. We would never, ever talk about each other. We're done with Lauren. What a gossip.
Hey, guys. Hey, Lauren. Now, who was Joan of Arc?
Oh, I know this one. It was Noah's wife.
In what channel was the Spanish Armada defeated?
I'm thinking it was Channel 4.
Who were the Quakers?
Oh, I know this one. They were the forefathers that were famous for their breakfast food.
What was George Washington known as?
George. What was actually famous for? The dollar bill. Wait. You think if someone asked George Washington for identification, he would just like pull out a quarter?
Wait, if George Washington was such an honest man, then why did they close the banks on his birthday?
Who's Mr. Ross?
One of the Supremes.
Brian, how long did the Civil War last?
22 pages.
Let's move on to Earth science. Zach, how do you describe wind?
It's like air, only pushier.
Colton, during hot, dry weather, all trees in the forest say you have a common enemy. What enemy?
Stray dogs!
What is alkaline?
Ooh, it can cause red litmus paper to turn blue. So far as I know, it's only.
Zach, define slush.
It's like snow, but with all the fun just sucked out of it.
What is sodium chloride commonly known as?
A salt. Some people use it to melt snow, and others use it to freeze ice cream. Someday we'll know who's right.
Brian, what do we call the land down under?
Dirt knows.
When it is 10 at night in Los Angeles, what time is it in New York?
How should I know? My mom makes me go to bed way before then.
Let's try some English. Allie, what mistake did I make in this sentence? It was me who volunteered to work for him.
Never volunteer.
What lesson can we learn from the story of Cinderella?
Never buy shoes that are too big for your feet.
Why couldn't all the king's horses and all the king's men put Humpty Dumpty back together?
Because he wasn't hard-boiled?
Is there a lesson to be learned from Jack and Jill?
Ooh, I know this one. Never trust a girl when you're going downhill. They'll always trip you.
In the Three Little Pigs, which pig is the smartest?
I think I know this one. It's the one who wee-weed all the way home.
Can we learn anything from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs?
Oh, that you're happy if you have 7 men in the house who whistle while you work.
Wait,
Were Robin Hood and Riding Hood related?
what does the expression "the grass is always greener on the other fellow's yard" mean?
That's an easy one. He's using better fertilizer.
What do you think of the expression "the early bird catches the worm"?
He's welcome to it. I tried one once and it tasted like cold spaghetti.
What do we mean by the expression "man's best friend"?
A TV set.
Beer.
A lady. A bed.
Life begins at 40.
Actually, life begins at 3 for me.
How's that?
That's when school gets out.
What's an optimist?
The opposite of a pessimist. An optimist looks at your eyes. A pessimist just stares at your feet.
What is an animal?
It's what Davy Crockett fought for and lost.
Finish the expression if at first you don't succeed.
To heck with it.
Nothingness is next to what?
Impossible.
Zach, in 5 minutes I can paint milk.
Let's see. There's cheese, there's butter, and there's 3 cows.
Allie, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Alive.
Whoever said nothing was impossible obviously never tried to nail Jell-O to a tree.
Thanks, kids. That was a section from an old TV show called Kids Say the Darndest Things. And now, Cameron,
What?
what are you doing?
What does it look like? I'm doing doctor's orders.
Doctor's orders?
Yeah, he told me to take my medicine for a week and then skip a week.
That kid's gonna be sick for us. And now, we'd like to present a classic comedy written by Oscar Wilde, The Importance of Being Earnest.
Well, how nice to see you.
How are you, my dear Ernest? What brings you to town?
Pleasure, of course. What else should bring one anywhere?
Where have you been since last Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. That's excessively boring. But why are these cups, LG? Are you expecting people to tea?
Merely Aunt Augusta and Gwendolyn.
How perfectly delightful.
Yes, that is all very well. But I am afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of your being here.
May I ask why not?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. It is almost as bad as the way Gwendolyn flirts with you.
But I'm in love with Gwendolyn. I've come in town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you had come up for pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
Oh, it's very romantic to be in love. But there's nothing romantic in a definite proposal. Please, don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. They are especially for Aunt Augusta.
I see it's perfectly all right for you to eat them, however.
Yes, this is a different matter. She is my aunt. Have some bread and butter. Gwendolyn adores bread and butter.
Very good bread and butter it is, too.
You act as though you were married to her already. I am afraid you never will be. I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolyn is my first cousin, and before I allow you to marry her, you will have to clear up the whole question of Cecily.
I don't know anyone by the name of Cecily.
Lane!
Yes, sir.
Bring me the cigarette case Mr. Worthing left the last time he dined here.
Yes, sir. But you mean to say that you've had my cigarette case this whole time? As you're nearly offering a reward for its return.
I wish you would offer one. I happen to need cash.
There'd be no point in offering a reward now it has been found. The cigarette case, sir.
Never mind for you. No need for you to offer a reward, Ernest. For now that I look at the inscription, I see that the case isn't yours at all.
What? Of course it's mine.
But this is from someone named Cecily. And you said you didn't know anyone by that name.
You must know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Then why does the inscription read, from dear little Cecily to her little aunt, nephew? What? Here. From dear little Cecily to her uncle, with her fondest love. See? It also says that it's from someone named Jack, and your name isn't Jack. It's Ernest.
My name, dear LG, is really Jack.
How can that be? You've always told me your name is Ernest. I've introduced you to everyone as Ernest. You answer to the name of Ernest. It's perfectly absurd you're saying that your name isn't Ernest. It's on your card. Here's one of them. Mr. Ernest Worthing, B. for the Albany. I shall keep this as proof if ever you attempt to deny to me, or to Gwendolyn, or to anyone else that your name is in fact Ernest.
That's my town card. At the Albany, here in town, I'm known as Ernest, but in the country, I'm always Jack. And that cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Will you kindly explain yourself?
Give me the cigarette case first. Thank you. Now listen very closely to what I'm about to tell you. You see, in his will, old Mr. Carter, who adopted as a young boy, made me guardian over his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Carter. Cecily, who dresses me as her uncle, lives at my home in the country under the watch of her admirable governess, Miss Trimble.
Where is this place in the country?
That is nothing to you, for you are certainly not going to be invited.
Even so, how does that explain why you are Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
Well, in order to be a good guardian to Cecily, I must adopt a high moral tone regarding everything in the country. This becomes rather boring at times, so I've often pretended to have a younger brother by the name of Ernest, living at the Elm. Ernest gets the most dreadful disgrace, but the fact of the matter is I'm soon just going to have to kill him all.
But why, my dear Ernest? He seems a most useful sort.
I suspect my ward Cecily is becoming rather too interested in this Ernest fellow. So I'm just going to have to kill him off. That's the truth, pure and simple.
The truth is never pure, and rarely simple.
Any Brazil in Miss Fairfax?
Good afternoon, dear Algernon. I hope you're behaving very well.
I'm feeling very well, Aunt Augusta.
Ah, that's not quite the same thing.
Oh, Oh, Mr. Worthing, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lady Bracknell.
How are you today, Gwendolyn? How do I look?
You look quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
Will you have tea, Aunt Augusta?
First things first. Algernon, I asked you to prepare the program for my musical this evening.
Yes, it is laid out on the piano. You can select whatever you prefer. Please, come to the musical.
Really excuse us, Mr. Worthing.
Now, Gwendolyn, while I'm gone, I expect you to think constructive thoughts.
Yes, Mama. This way, Aunt Augusta.
Lovely weather, isn't it today, Miss Fairfax?
Pray, don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. When people talk to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain I mean something else.
I do mean something else. I like to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's accents.
I would advise you to do so. Mom has way of coming back into her room so suddenly.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any young woman I have ever met since I met you.
Yes, I'm quite aware of that fact. And even before I met you, I must confess I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as you know, in an age of ideals. My ideal has always been to love someone by the name of Earnest. There is something in that name that inspires confidence. The moment Algernon ventured to me that he had a friend named Earnest, I knew that I was destined to love you.
You don't really mean to me that you couldn't love me if my name weren't Ernest? Personally, darling, I don't care for the name Ernest at all. In fact, I don't think it suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has music of its own. It produces vibrations.
Well, there are other much nicer names. Jack, for instance, is quite a beautiful one.
Jack? No, there is rarely music named Jack. It does not, though. It produces absolutely no vibrations. No, darling, I truly feel I must marry someone by the name of Ernest. It is the only really safe name.
I must get Christmas at once. I mean, we must get married at once.
But you haven't proposed to me yet.
Well, then, may I propose to you now?
I think it'd be an admirable opportunity, and to spare you any possible disappointment, Mr. Worthing, I think it's only fair to tell you that I'm willing to accept you.
Gwendolyn.
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what have you to say to me?
Gwendolyn.
Of course I will, darling. Really, how long you took?
Mr. Worthing, rise, sir, from your knees. Such a position is most indecorous.
Mama, I'm engaged to Mr. Worthing.
Gwendolyn, when you become engaged, your father and I will inform you of the fact. Now, I have a few questions to put to Mr. Worthing. Now, Gwendolyn, while I'm making these inquiries, you are to wait for me in the carriage.
But, Mama.
To the carriage, Gwendolyn.
Yes, Mama.
Now, Mr. Worthing, how old are you?
29.
Very good, to be married. Now, about your parents.
I have lost both my parents.
Both. That seems like carelessness. Now, about your father.
The truth is, I never met my father. You see, I was found in the cloakroom of a station on the Brighton line by a gentleman named Mr. Thomas Carter. He gave me the name of Worthing because he happened to have a first-class ticket to Worthing in his pocket. Yes, Lady Bracknell, I was found in a large handbag.
You can be assured that a good basis for recognition in good society.
Well, what would you advise me to do?
I would strongly advise you, sir, to acquire some relations as soon as possible. You can hardly consider that I would allow my only daughter to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parson. Good day, Mr. Worthing.
It's all right, Algie. You can come in now.
What's the matter, Algie? Ernest. Did it go off all right?
Gwendolyn is perfect, but her mother is unbearable.
Did you tell Gwendolyn about you being Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
The truth isn't something one tells a nice young lady like Gwendolyn. Besides, I already told you, I plan to be rid of the name Ernest by the end of the week. He will die in a chill in Paris.
Won't your poor little ward, Miss Cecily, feel his loss a great deal?
I doubt it. Cecily's not a silly romantic girl, I'm glad to say. She has a capital appetite, goes on long walks, and pays no attention to her lessons at all.
I would rather like to meet this Cecily.
I'll take great care that you never do. She's excessively pretty and only 18.
Miss Fairfax.
Ernest, Mama just told me all from the expression on her face. I fear we shall never be married. But although she may prevent us from becoming man and wife, nothing she can possibly do will ever alter my eternal devotion to you.
Dear Gwendolyn,
The story of your romantic origin has naturally stirred the deeper fibers of my nature. The simplicity of your character makes you exquisitely incomprehensible to me, and your name has irresistible fascination for me.
dear Gwendolyn.
It may be necessary to do something desperate. I shall write you daily, if you'll just give me your country address.
I don't want Algie to hear, but it's the Manor House, Woolton, Hertfordshire.
What was that again? I can't hear. He said he didn't want me to hear. But it's the Manor House, Woolton, Hertfordshire.
Oh, bother, Algie. Come, Gwendolyn, I'll escort you to the door.
Goodbye, Cousin Gwendolyn. Goodbye, Ernest. Olay!
Yes, sir.
I will be going visiting this weekend to Mr. Worthing's country home.
Yes, sir.
I shall probably not be back until Monday. Pack my dress clothes and my summer suits.
Yes, sir.
I hope it will be a fine day.
No worries, sir. No worries.
Cecily, where are you? Ah, here you are. Now come in for your German lesson. You know your Uncle Jack put particular stress on your German lesson before I left the town the other day. I do not see why you waste time in your diary.
I keep a diary, Miss Prism, to enter all the wonderful secrets of my life.
Memory is a diary we all carry about with us.
I believe it is memory that is responsible for those horrible 3-volume novels everyone reads nowadays.
Please do not speak slightingly of the 3-volume novel. I wrote one myself in the earlier days. Alas, I lost the manuscript, and so I was never able to finish it.
That is a shame, Miss Prism. But look, here's dear Dr. Chasuble.
Ah, Dr. Chasuble, this is indeed a pleasure.
Good afternoon, Miss Prism. Has Mr. Worthing returned from town yet?
No, we don't expect him back until Monday.
Well, I'll be on my way then. Care to walk with me, Miss Prism?
Gladly. Now study your German, Cecily.
Oh, horrid German.
Excuse me, but Mr. Ernest Worthing's home.
You must be my little cousin Cecily.
And you are Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest. My wicked cousin Ernest. I don't understand how you happen to be here. Uncle Jack won't be back until Monday afternoon.
What a shame then, that I must leave Monday morning.
Can't you stay longer? He's been eager to talk to you about emigrating. He says he's sending you to Australia. You do look awfully pale.
It must be because I'm so awfully hungry.
Oh, how thoughtless of me. Won't you come in for tea?
You know, Cousin Cecily, you're the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Miss Prism says all the good looks are a snare.
They are snares. One every sensible man wants to be caught.
I don't think I would care to catch a sensible man. I shouldn't know what to talk to him about.
We didn't expect you back until Monday, Mr. Worthing, but why are you mourning?
It's my poor brother Ernest. Still leading his shameful, wicked life, is he?
Alas, he's leading no life at all. He's dead of a chill in Paris. My deep sympathies, Mr. Worthing.
My sympathies, sir. I'll mention him in this Sunday's service.
Ah, that reminds me. I should like to be christened. This afternoon is convenient.
Well, have you ever been christened before?
I don't know. At any rate, I should like to be christened this afternoon. Well, 5:32.
Uncle Jack! How nice it is to see you back. Who do you think is in the dining room? Your brother Ernest. He arrived just a few minutes ago. He's already proposed marriage to me. Of course, I have accepted. Oh, and he's promised to be wicked no more.
But Mr. Worthing's brother Ernest is dead, Cecily.
I am no such thing, madame. Dear brother Jack.
Algernon! Ernest! Oh, what a touching family reunion. Come along, Miss Prism and Cecily. Let us leave these two brothers alone.
You will forgive Cousin Ernest, won't you, Uncle Jack? You must, for my sake. I must confess, ever since I heard you had a brother named Ernest, I was determined to love him. There's something in that name that inspires a woman so.
Do you mean, Cecily, that you couldn't love me if my name were not Ernest?
But your name is Ernest, so what is the matter?
Come along, Cecily. Let us leave them to their reunion.
Algy, you scoundrel! You must leave at once! Oh, don't be silly, Jack. I'm engaged to Cecily, and I am staying. Marry men! Marry men!
Yes, sir.
Go get that dog cart. Mr. Worthing is leaving. Never mind, Merriman. He's decided to stay after all. Oh, no, he hasn't. Oh, yes, he has.
Ugh. What's the use?
Let me introduce myself. I'm Cecily Cardew.
How do you do, Miss Cardew? I'm Gwendolyn Fairfax.
how do you do?
I want to visit here, Miss Worthing's country home.
Why, no, I'm Mr. Worthing's ward.
His ward. He never told me that he had ward. Though I must say, I'm not jealous. Ernest is so dependable.
Oh, it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is my guardian. It's his elder brother, Jack. You see, Ernest and I are engaged.
My darling Cecily, I think there must be some error. Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me.
My dearest Gwendolyn, it is you who have mistaken. Ernest proposed to me just an hour ago.
It is certainly quite curious. He asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. Therefore, I have the power claim.
Well, I think it is quite clear he has since changed his mind.
Here it comes now. I'll ask him myself. Ernest, dear.
Gwendolyn, this is a surprise.
I knew there must be some mistake, Miss Fairfax. The man you are now standing next to is my dear guardian, Uncle Jack.
Jack?
Here comes Ernest now.
You know, Cecily, those are the best cucumber sandwiches I've ever had.
Ernest, may I ask if you are engaged to this young lady?
To what young lady? Good heavens, Gwendolyn!
Yes, to good heavens, Gwendolyn. I mean, to Gwendolyn.
I knew there was an error, Miss Cardew. The gentleman beside you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Algernon?
Well, then if you are not Ernest, and if you are not Ernest, who on earth is Ernest?
Gwendolyn, Cecily, this is painful to admit, but there is no Ernest.
Poor Gwendolyn!
Good Lord, it's Aunt Augusta!
Mr. Worthing, why have you spared my daughter? He didn't spare me off, Noah. I gave my own guilt will. Mr. Worthing and I are engaged.
You are no such thing.
Now, Algernon, who is this young woman standing next to you?
Lady Bracknell, allow me to introduce my ward, Miss Cecily Cardew. Cecily and I are engaged.
You are no such thing. There must be something very invigorating in the air hereabouts. There seems to be a peculiar number of engagements.
Well, gentlemen, about those christenings.
Christenings?
Yes, well, Mr. Jack Worthing is to be christened Ernest at 5:30. And Mr. Ernest Worthing is to be christened as, well, I'm not really sure, at 6.
Do you mean you prepare to make the sacrifice for us?
Darlings.
About those christenings, might they be postponed?
Whatever for?
Well, the fact is, Miss Prism and I have just become engaged.
May I have the honor of knowing what is going on here? Miss Prism!
Lady Bracknell? Miss Prism, where is that baby? Miss Prism, 28 years ago, you left Lord Bracknell's house in charge of a carriage containing a baby of the male sex. You never returned. A week later, that carriage was found in a remote corner of Bayswater containing the dreadful three-volume novel. Miss Prism, where is that baby?
I don't know, I admit it. I only wish I did. The plain facts are these. By mistake, I put the manuscript for a book I was writing into the carriage, and I put the baby into a large handbag that I intended for the manuscript. Where did you deposit this book? I left it in the cloakroom of one of London's larger railway stations. Which railway station? Victoria, the brighter mind. Excuse me for a moment.
Miss Prism, I need not tell you that weeks, nay years of anguish your mistake has caused.
I can imagine.
Can you indeed?
Miss Prism, is this the handbag? Examine it carefully. Is this the handbag? It seems to be mine. Yes, here are my initials on the clasp. Thank you so much for restoring it to me. Rumor's been restored to you this day in just a handbag. I am the baby you placed in it.
Mr. Worthing, then that means you are the son of my dear dead sister, and therefore Algernon's elder brother.
Algy's elder brother. I always told you I had a younger brother, didn't I? Miss Prism, Dr. Chasuble, meet my unfortunate younger brother.
My own. What own are you? What is your name now that you become someone else?
Good heavens, I almost forgot. Can you not love me but under that one name?
Alas, no. Cecily and I have both resolved to marry men by the name of Ernest.
That's it. Mr. Worthing, you were named after your father. His name was General Ernest John Monty.
I always told you my name was Ernest, didn't I?
Ernest, my own. I felt from the first you could have no other name. I forgive you now for all I've gone for.
Cecily, do you forgive me? Yes, I do, Algernon, as long as you promise to be rechristened.
I do, Cecily, I do. And now, may I kiss you?
But of course.
My dear nephew, you seem to be displaying a dreadful amount of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I have just now realized the vital importance of being earnest.